satellite technology has been becoming more and more important in the daily lives because you hear SpaceX, you hear all these things about satellite. And the reason it was always not been accessible because it was always very expensive. Because of technology improvements that have been happening drastically in the last 3 years, you see that it's becoming more available for the general regions in Africa. People need more connectivity and more reliable connectivity. And I think there is where we come in with our satellite solution to Kymeta and Intelsat, our partners, showcasing what we can allow them to do to make it a successful race for them. We're really glad that we can be part of that development of the technology itself, to showcase that we are all part of the ecosystem. The satellite technology is a really important aspect of the IoT part of the race. Specifically in countries like in Africa, where you don't have always connectivity via your cell phone, you do need satellite as a backup to make sure that you have always the optimized capacity utilization of your vehicle.
In this race, it's optimized on kilometers driven and not in time. We have point A to B, and in between we have quite a lot of loops that we can drive. The team that has driven the most kilometers wins the race. We're actually searching for the optimal way to reach the most kilometers, and to do that we need a lot of information. Because we drive from Johannesburg to Cape Town, we pass a lot of rural areas, remote areas where people wouldn't have an internet connection. So actually the flat panel is on top of the brains car, as we call it. It's actually also the car where decisions are made. We calculate stuff based on the data that the solar car is sending out.
For example, about the car's speed, the battery pack's temperature and so on.
We calculate stuff based on the weather data, for example. Also.
To know at what angle we should tilt the solar panel.
Will you drive 5 loops today or rather tomorrow? So that's really a challenge.
And these are all things that you have to use the internet for. Communication with other people is also very important. There's a car in front of the solar car which is called the guide, and there's someone in this car that has to communicate with the solar car at all times. Every bump that's on the road, call it a bump at the right side of the road, keep left, such things. So that's a very busy job. This year we have built a web tracker. So based on the information that the solar car sends to the brain car, it works with a little antenna. Part of this information will also be available to the public via a web tracker, and this communication also happens through the internet connection that the flat panel provides us with.
Our technologies today are so much improving and getting more complex. But at the same time, that means as well that students need to be more trained and more knowledgeable about the technologies available. It is really important that we upskill students in these kind of countries and to get them as well a touch of the technology being developed in Europe. So I think it's really important to get them to get ready for the work environment that they're going to go into in the future.